What is going on, Sixer fans out there and Eagle fans and Pacer fans? If you are watching, welcome to JC Sports Talk. I'm your host, JC, and I had to bring with me on this show, King DV. What is going on, brother? What is going on? Happy Saturday, by the way.
Happy Saturday to you as well, brother.
Happy weekend going so far.
So far, so good. How about yours?
Hey man, look, it's wonderful. I'm about to get ready to watch this Sixers and Pacers game, and then after this, we're gonna do a post game reaction to what we saw throughout the game, and then I'm going to head to the gym, and just start the rest of my day. But hey, look, man, this is a very interesting matchup, for so many reasons, because and not only is the number 3 seed on the line. But lately, the Sixers has been up and down. Yes, y'all had won a few in a row, and then y'all lost to some good teams in the process, the Phoenix, the Bucks, and stuff like that. So, how are you feeling like so far about this whole Sixers team heading into the playoffs?
I think our only downfall, well, it's three steps, and I said this on my channel as well. It's first foremost is Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers coaching and his rotations late in games are being able to be a coach managing the game. That's where we're lacking a coach like that. Like if we had a Nick Nurse, if we had a Steve Nash or somebody that was in the game that knows how to do adjustments well. Like Doc Rivers doesn't know how to do that, and it could be the personnel. It could be the players that we have also. But the second thing, of course, I'm gonna go there. James Harden is
well, we're gonna get into that. Hey, like we're just gonna get it into all that. But I just want to know feeling. How you feeling? I mean, are you happy? Where your team is at, or what? Before we start,
I'll tell you this. I'm not satisfied. Okay. I'm not satisfied for what I'm seeing. Thinking that we're gonna go further than the second round at this point. I'm not as satisfied as I am. I'm really not.
All right. So look, hey, first of all, the Pacers have lost 8 straight. All right, they are depleted. I mean, they're literally playing with off the street guys. Besides, I think the guy behind me, Harbert. Besides that, like they have Lance Stevenson, old caveman, from way back in the Pacer days. I mean, they're basically just playing with bums. But the last time y'all played the Pacers, I believe y'all set a franchise record for threes and won by 8, right? Man, I believe y'all y'all made 23 threes that game.
Yeah.
And it took y'all a last minute miracle, and B had to come back in the game. Like, are y'all starting to rely on the threes too much? I mean, do you think that the Sixers are starting to shoot too many threes?
Yes and no, because I really believe that because of the struggles of James Harden, I think that's not really, yeah, I wanted to say that too. R.I.P. to Dwayne Haskins, man.
Man.
Unfortunate. He's only 24 years old, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, my condolences and prayers up to his family, man. Sad news. If you didn't hear out of the NFL, Dwayne Haskins, man, he was struck by a car earlier this morning, and he's passed away. And it's a sad situation, man. He would have been 25 years old on May 3rd. So I mean, hey, prayers up to his family, man. It's a sad day in the NFL.
But yeah, I really do think, going back to the Sixers, I really think that when we're not hitting them, we take too many. When we are hitting them, we get to when we are.
That's every team, though, and that's every team. When you hitting them, it's okay to shoot as many as you want, but if you ain't missing, go ahead.
It's not okay to shoot because yes, we're hitting them, but you want to not be the one trick. Like, okay, we already know they're going to stop. They're going to start shooting threes, so let's guard the perimeter. But you forget about the paint, and then when you go to the paint, now they got so many athletic guys on the Pacers, on Toronto. And we're going to get into that too, that can double Embiid, that can double Harden, where that leaves the other guys that's just standing there.
But is that the type of game that the Sixers want to um uh, put into play, hey, shoot the three instead of going to your MVP inside the paint.
I
It's
think it's a mixture. I think it's a mixture of wanting to get MP his touches and also running the same offense or similar offense that they were doing when it was just James Harden and them boys in Houston. I think that's what they're trying to do because remember they had Eric Gordon, they had a couple of 3-point shooters, but they also had Clint Capella down there. So that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do, and I think they got to mesh that together. And I don't think it's going to happen this season.
okay. I mean, look, I really feel like I'm just watching the Sixers play. I feel like that in order for James Harden, and we're gonna get into him a little bit more because I see him. He's trying. He's trying not to be the James Harden that people criticize. Go to the basket, get his own. Like I literally saw him do the exact same thing that Ben Simmons did the other night. Instead of him just going up for this little a layup, he threw it to 3-point line to I think
Tobias.
yeah. Get Tobias Harris. I'm like, he was literally right under the basket. So, like, I don't know if he's trying to please everybody, please his teammates, or try and get the narrative out of his system that hey, he's just a ball hog, whatever it is. But I'm starting to see a bad James Harden. But okay, so hey, that's a perfect situation. The perfect thing to get into is the James Harden honeymoon period is over with. Because go ahead. Before I go ahead. Answer the question.
To answer your question, yes, it is. It's short. It's always going to be short lived with a honeymoon. If we get someone, like for instance, when we got Jimmy Butler a couple years ago, that honeymoon phase wasn't never over because we knew Jimmy Butler was going to give it his all, and he was a blue collar player. This is something that was the perfect fit with James Harden. Yes, some fans thought that they were going to get the James Harden like MVP like. And I'm like, that's not.
You did too, man.
I'm saying, I did too.
Okay. So I just want to make sure, hey, when you say some fans, I want you to say I and others thought that we
were. Well, I and others thought that we was going to get the James Harden that was going to be consistent. I just want him to be consistent enough to score at least 20 to 25 points, get us those assists, and get us some rebounds because we lacking. We're almost dead last in giving up second chance points. So that's hurting us as well. And if he's going to the line, and I swear, every time he plays, I think about you and what you said. You sit up there and said that all he got is that dribble and going to the floater. If he gets fouled, he's not getting back on defense. And every single time it happens, he has his hands up. He's not back on defense. Now it's 5-on-4. Transition defense or 3-on-5 and they get easy basket or get to the free throw line. It's not helping us at all that he's not playing defense or attempting to play defense. I know he's not the best defensive player, but this is why the honeymoon phase is over because I feel like that we've seen a lot.
Man, wow. Whew. Wow, that was a short lived. Like that was like 2 weeks.
But that's Philly though. That's Philly, though. You got to show us what you can do. That's going to help us because we're on a championship. We're trying to get Joel Embiid the championship. That's the goal. And if you're not sitting up and helping Joel Embiid, you're hurting him.
All right, look from the jump. Hey, people were saying, "Hey, this is the next Shaq and Kobe 2.0."
No, bro.
Hey, this is next Shaq and Kobe version. This and that. But Kobe game and Harden game is totally different. Like I told you before, James Harden, just watching him, he's dribble behind the 3-point line, and he try to pass you, but he don't have that burst to get past so many people anymore. Maybe 5 years ago, maybe back in Houston, OKC days, even in Brooklyn, sometimes dribble, but he has some shooters that could possibly, that could work in Brooklyn because we didn't have no big man. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have no big man to work, throw it to Embiid and have him do his damage. Our big guys was KD, Kyrie, Joe Harris. Like he has shooters around him, which were legit real good shooters
Yeah.
compared to y'all. Now Maxey, he's starting to get into a groove now. So do you feel like that Maxey should be that second guy that y'all really depend on than James Harden? Like let James Harden be a strictly point guard, pass the ball to, Harris and Maxey, just do his little assists and not try to shoot so much, because a lot of times, hey, he's either a air ball three, a brick three, or trying to go, inside the paint and floater. If he don't get it, boom, he's like his head down and he don't know what else to do.
No. To answer your question, short term, no. Only because it's a lot with Tyrese Maxey too. So yeah, Tyrese Maxey can score. Don't get me wrong, but he's also a liability on defense. I think our number 2 guy should be Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris needs to step up and be that number 2 guy. If Maxey goes off, that should just be icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you that James Harden needs to focus on getting everybody involved, because that's where his focus should be this year if he's going to pick up the option next year. But Maxey can't be the number 2, because if he's off, then where does that leave us if Tobias Harris doesn't have his confidence?
Okay, but if James Harden, you're number 2 now. But as far as a couple of weeks ago, y'all was saying that Tobias Harris was trash. He can't shoot, he can't do this. And now, if y'all relying on him to be your second star, I'm just confused about y'all team right now, because
it's not a confusion. It's more so when in the beginning of the season, when we knew Ben Simmons wasn't going to play, Tobias Harris, in our mind, Tobias Harris is supposed to be the number 2. Tobias Harris wasn't living up to being the number 2. Thank God that we had Tyrese Maxey scoring, but they were saying that he may have been in a slump because he's not used to being in that position. He used to being the number 3 option and so forth. We weren't running the same plays that the Clippers was running with the pick and roll and everything for him. So he's not comfortable. He's trying to find his way. Then he goes through a stretch where he's scoring 20-plus points. And we're like, oh, this is Tobias Harris that we need. Then he'll have 8 points. So it's just like, what in the world? So he's not living up to the expectations. That's what I think a lot of fan bases get wrong of Philly fans, that they feel like that we are sitting up there just iffy about these players, whereas though no, they're not living up to expectations. Our expectations of them, we know what type of players that they are or that they were. At least give us some consistency on what you're doing. That's why. Now, Tyrese Maxey has been our second most consistent player besides Joel Embiid, of course.
Yeah.
But
he has.
In the playoffs, everything slows down, and he's more of a fast-paced player. He can't play that well in the half court unless he's setting up, spotting up, shooting. He cannot do what he does in regular season. I've seen this happen last year. He had one good game against Atlanta last year, and that's because we were playing
last year, though, right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so this year he's a more polished.
Yeah, he gotten a lot better.
Yeah. See that he, his overall game is definitely getting better. So I mean, this year might be different. He is right now. If Joel Embiid is your engine, right? Maxey is the gasoline you put in the car to, just to get it going again. Because I'm telling you right now, so many times I've watched the Sixers play, and Embiid is putting up monster numbers. And then all of a sudden, he goes to the bench, and nobody pick up the slack. So it's one of those that I really think that Maxey should be that number 2 guy. James Harden should just be trying to assist, and let Maxey just be the number 2 guy. Because the Sixers, to me, they have some shooters. Tobias Harris, lately, he's been, again, hot from the 3-point line. So his confidence is getting back at the right time, right before the playoffs hits. And then Maxey, he's going off. He could finish at the basket. He could shoot his 3, his step back 3 that James Harden taught him. So James Harden brought a lot to the Sixers team. you know. But I knew for a fact that his game, that James Harden's game, was not suited for the Sixers just because Harden is a dribble. He'll look to pass or he try to go to the hole, but he don't have a mid range. Yes, he could shoot the mid range, but that's not his bread and butter. He just want to literally shoot step back threes or try to go to the hole and get fouled or a floater. But we'll see what happens. I mean, look, right now, the Sixers are at the number 4 spot. All right. Right behind them is the Toronto Raptors. So the Sixers, to me, are fighting for that number 3 seed. They need to get that number 3 seed by all means necessary. They need to get that number 3 seed. If they do not get that number 3 seed, I see the Sixers. Let me put up the standings here real quick because I really want to show y'all the standings, because if they don't get the number 3 seed, let me see. Oh, man, yep, it might be an early exit for the Sixers. That's extreme. All right, so right now, you got the Heat, the Bucks, the Celtics, and the Sixers right now, the number 4. All right, so the 76ers need to move up to that number 3 seed to play the Bulls. I think that is a more favorable matchup for the 76ers compared to the Raptors. All right, the Raptors are 3-1 against the Sixers this year. And guess what? Matisse Thybulle, he can't play on the road because he is unvaccinated. So now that is a big blow to the Sixers. So if the Sixers want to advance past the first round, their best chance, in my opinion, is to go against the Bulls. There's the best chance is to go against the Bulls in the first round. So I just pulled up the standings and I was trying to say, hey, y'all fighting for that number 3 seed. If y'all get that number 3 seed, y'all go against the Bulls. Look, that is your best option, because if y'all go against the Raptors and Thybulle can't play on the road, and the Raptors are 3-1 against y'all this year. So if I were y'all, I would pray that the Celtics lose tomorrow, y'all win today, and move up. And now y'all got a 3-6 matchup, which I think that y'all could beat the Bulls. But the Raptors, I mean, they're so feisty, man. They're feisty. Siakam ain't scared of nobody. And this dude, his game has evolved so big. Like when Kawhi was there, when that dude Danny Green was there, like Siakam was just a pup. And then all of a sudden now, the past couple of years, he grew into a man, and now he's dominating. So what do you feel about the whole seeding? Where would you prefer to be? 3, 4? Like, what does it matter? I mean, do you even care? What?
At this point, it really don't matter to me. I really do want to play. Like, shout out to the Raptors fans, because they showed me a lot of love on my post game rant that I did on my channel. But I swear, I really want to play the Raptors because I really want to see the challenge. I want us to play to a standard where as though that they're not going to let Philly down. If we take the easy route out and we sit up there, oh yeah, we could beat Chicago, then we still got to sit up there and face either Brooklyn, we got to play the Bucks, we got to play either Miami, whoever, in even the second or the later rounds. And it's like we never geared ourselves to take on a challenge. I'd rather take on a challenge than to sit up there and just be easy going.
Excuse my French, but that sounds stupid.
How?
No team want the hardest matchup in the first round. I don't care. You want to get past the first round.
Bro.
You know why? Because you want to get your – okay, let's just say you get a warm-up series in the first round. Y'all wasn't clicking, before y'all go into the playoffs. Now you get a good matchup. Hey, go 4, 5, maybe 6 games. Boom, they push y'all to your limit. Hey, y'all fix some stuff. And now y'all like, okay, now we just finished the first round. let's go into the second round compared to getting a harder matchup in the first round and hoping that you get out the first round.
Is that a hope?
Yes, it is a hope.
It's not.
The Raptors are 3-1 against y'all.
Because I overheard you. You said something about Thybulle. You said something about Thybulle.
Yes, he can't play on the road.
Yes, that's great. That's great. So he's not going to be able to play three of the games on the road.
Okay.
Right. But you got to understand, most games with Thybulle, he's inconsistent as well with his defense because he gets in foul trouble early. So that takes him out of the ball game anyway. He plays better at home. So I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is us not being able to compete after the first round. That's what I'm worried about.
So you tell me the first round, if y'all go against the Raptors, is a lock, y'all winning, and y'all move on to the second round.
With our full potential, I can see us going 6 or 7 games, but I see us coming out of that series.
All right, what is the full potential? Because y'all need Thybulle in there. Because I watched the Sixers play. I'm telling you right now, he's your best defensive player. If y'all don't have him, that is Man, I can't believe I'm having this conversation right now.
He's our best. He's our best. Listen, hear me out. He's our best perimeter player. Yes, he's our best one-on-one defensive player. Yes, but what I'm saying is, what y'all don't see every game is that he actually jumps at everything, and the referees call foul. He takes too many risks, and when he
fouled out this year.
He hasn't fouled out, but listen. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
What are we talking about?
Hear me out. This is what I'm talking about. If say in the first quarter, he gets 2 to 3 fouls. He's out for the whole second quarter. They can make they run there. Or if he's in the beginning of the he's got 2 fouls in the beginning of the third quarter, he gets a foul or 2. So now he's in foul trouble. Doc's going to pull him, and now he's not a factor. On top of that, he can't score consistently.
You see, because I had the same argument with a couple, I think with Mitch or probably with you, once the trade went down.
Okay.
And y'all swore up and down that y'all told me that Thybulle was that dude. He was that defensive guy. He might even, hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
He might even, win defensive player of the year, this and that. How are you gonna tell me? And according to you, he hasn't fouled out yet. The games that I've been watching, every game, this dude have blocks, steals, like rebounds, and he could score enough, to at least have the other team play some defense on him. But you cannot take your best defensive player out of your lineup and expect to not see what happened on Thursday against the Raptors when y'all played, the Raptors when y'all had a 20-something point lead, right? Or 15?
No, 15. 15.
Yeah, 15-point lead. Because there's no way. The Raptors are a different team compared to the Bulls. The Bulls have DeRozan. And I think that's about it because I don't even think their other star is Levine. Is he playing?
I think he's hurt. He just hurt his knee.
So I'm just saying, so the easier matchup to me, like regardless of put your pride aside, even in football, you make the playoffs, you want the easier team so you could get in a groove to move forward. You don't want the hardest team, and because you're going to say, well, our pride, we got to be tested. Hell no. Nobody want to be tested in the first round. This ain't no little league. This is the NBA where you are playing for a championship. You don't care who you get, but you want the easier opponent so you could get into that groove. And missing Thybulle, I'm telling you right now, is going to be your downfall if he can't play, if y'all get the Toronto Raptors in the first round.
Here's why I combat that. This is why. Because last year in the playoffs against the Atlanta Hawks, Danny Green go down.
Mm-hmm.
Who is a good defender in the half court, not so much fast break. They were saying the same thing, saying that Danny Green was the reason why we lost that matchup because the kid with the red hair on the Hawks, and they were doing a lot of pick and rolls, and they said
Collins,
that
right? Was that
not
a
Collins,
Collins at that
not
time?
Collins, the guy with the red hair.
But not Young.
No, the shooter.
No, I don't know.
Kevin Hurt.
Who?
Was that Herter? Yeah.
Oh, the tall white guy.
Yeah. So they were saying that Danny Green could have stopped him, because we would have had a backup for Danny Green with Matisse Thybulle, so it would always be that different matchup. But we didn't lose that series just based off of that. We lost that series because Doc's coaching and Ben's lack of focus on, when the game was on the line, he passed the ball up. That's the two main reasons why we lost the game.
Okay, I do want to ask people in the chat first, right? Because right now, look, y'all see the standings, right? As of right now, if the season would be over, Sixers versus Raptors, who would y'all prefer to face? The Raptors is 3-1 against the Sixers, and Thybulle can't play on the road, or you play the Bulls if you move up to number 3 seed with only DeRozan. What's your record against the Bulls this year? What, 2-2 or 3-1?
3-1.
So 3-1. So why would you want to face the harder team? That's what I'm confused about.
Because we're not. First of all, the only thing with Doc from last post game that on Thursday that I agree with is that we're not really ducking anyone. I really
every team's supposed to say that. Every coach is supposed to say that.
Hear me out. But the reason why is because I want our guys. I want our guys to play up to their potential. If we could get the 3rd seed, okay, of course I'm gonna be like, okay, that's a matchup that we favored in. A lot of people think that we cannot beat the Raptors. Now,
nobody's saying that.
No. National media is saying that we're going to have trouble with the Raptors because Nick Nurse always outcoaches Doc. Okay. And that's what it's going to come down to. Now, if we can sit up there and get that matchup, Doc has to coach. If Doc doesn't coach, then he's a weak link too. Then we have, it depends on how Harden play. That's going to be a conversation to be had too. But I know the conversation is going to be washed off because he's cool with Daryl Morey. So that's why I'm like, I'd rather get it over with now than then keep up the momentum, then to sit up there and be like, all right, we know we can beat them. Because how the Sixers play is they play to their competition. They always been that way.
What?
They do.
Bro, I've been watching the past 10 games. No, y'all could be up by 20 and still. What you mean?
We play to our that's what I mean. We play to our competition. Not the fact that we be up. The fact that we get lackadaisical on defense when we're up and we allow them to do whatever. Then there's always a no-name guy that's not even on our radar that goes for 20 plus.
Yeah, but you're acting like the Sixers are the only team when they're all big, they kind of take their foot off the pedal. A lot of team does that though. That's not the problem. A lot of team does that, and the Nets does the exact same thing. I've watched them blow big leads after big leads after big leads. The difference is that James Harden right now was supposed to be the difference maker, correct?
Right.
So let me ask you a question. Hindsight 2020. Mm-hmm. If you could go back and undo that trade, would you go back and undo that trade, get Seth back, get Drummond back? You know what I mean? And now just take your chance with that, with that team compared to the James Harden. Now y'all lose Seth and your backup center, which is trash, DeAndre Jordan. So because I'm tired of seeing Embiid running back in. I feel bad for the guy. As soon as he sits down, he has to run back in. And before he take a sip of water, bam, we down by 15. So hindsight 2020, would you undo that trade? Or are you saying, nah, that was still the best trade for us at this moment?
I'm going to answer this truthfully.
Well, I would hope so.
I would have actually traded Ben Simmons to the Spurs. I would have got Devontae Murray.
But that's not what I'm.
I wouldn't. I know. I'm getting to your question.
Okay, all right. Take your time.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have traded him to y'all, and I wouldn't have tried to get James Harden. I think James Harden was more of a Daryl Morey thing than a Sixers thing. I think that's what that was. Now, and as a fan, I know Joel Embiid, regardless of who we had on our team, needs the extra help because we have so many inconsistencies of our players. So we thought that since James Harden, just like he did in his last year in Houston, just like he did, and there was rumblings about that when he was playing with y'all, that, okay, he didn't want to play there. Then we got a hype of the presser, and he said, oh, this is where I wanted to be from the beginning and all that. So I'm like, all right, he's somewhere he wanted to be. He's somewhere where, okay, he can show up, and he's playing for his boy. And now we're getting this. The first 4 or 5 games, I'm like, all right, this we can expect. The pick and roll was working and all that. Then teams started to adjust to it. And then look what happened. Now he's shooting 3 for 12, 4 for 11. And I'm sitting here like, yo, we basically just got Ben Simmons without defense. That's basically what it was.
So Philly Mike, I'm trying to see. He said no, he wouldn't do the trade, or no, he would not undo the trade. I'm just trying to, because if hindsight 2020, I really think that y'all would have been better off with Seth and Drummond, because y'all had no backup center. You're going to need a backup center. The longer the playoff go on, your Embiid is going to get worn out, especially in the same series, 6-game series, 7-game series.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Because this trade was supposed to help Embiid.
It was.
When Joel Embiid was sitting up there getting winded, or when he's not on the court, James Harden time was supposed to be then. But he's not doing that. He's passing it to George Niang and not allowing his game to come to him. Like, it's ridiculous, man. He's not shooting the ball with conviction. He's not.
So let me ask you this. So do you believe that James Harden prime is behind him, or that teams are starting to figure him out? Hey, look, he can't shoot the mid-range. He's just going to dribble, and try to take you off the dribble and then try to lay it off. Or is it just past his prime? He's not the James Harden from 3-4 years ago that y'all thought that y'all were.
No, that's fact. He's not the James Harden from 3-4 years ago. And we don't really need him to be that. What we need him to do is just to stay aggressive. Stay aggressive and stop looking for the foul every single play to bail you out. Yes, I know you can get to the free throw line and all that, but they cut that out for you, Trae Young, and so forth. Now you have to play basketball. You have to. And if you sit up there don't have your boost in your first step or anything, you got to get crafty. That's why I said in the off season, after this season, if we do pick him up again, he has to watch some tape, like a prime Paul Pierce tape, something like that. He was not the most athletic player, but he was crafty. He has to be more crafty, and he has to be more aggressive. He's not aggressive enough like he is to try to get 10 assists. We need him to take the pressure off of Joel Embiid when he's getting doubled. He shouldn't be getting doubled as much as he is. That's why we were so excited about the trade. But we can't undo the trade now, so we're stuck with him, even if we pick up the option.
I mean, y'all gonna pick up the option, or that would have been the most stupidest trade in NBA history. Yeah. Like, there's no way. You give up Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Drummond. Yes, Philly Mike was like, hey, Drummond is gonna leave regardless after this year or not. Maybe. Or maybe
well, he said it out of his own mouth that he was only going to be there for 1 year. But I don't know.
No. What? See, y'all twisting. Stop it. Y'all twisting his words.
No,
he even came out. I'm not saying he even came out at the media and say, "Look, stop putting words in my mouth." Y'all asked me a question. I said that I'm only signed to 1 year right now, but he didn't say I'm only for 1 year, and after that I'm gone. He said, whatever happens, happens. But honestly,
I didn't think about how other Sixers fans thought about it. I never thought about it like this. I never thought it like he's only there for 1 year and he's going to come back. No, I thought that he was saying that he might retire. That's where I took it.
Nah, he's not.
That's where I took it.
It's all about the money at this point. And we have one of the richest owners in NBA basketball. So who knows? I'm telling you right now, if Kevin Durant tells the owner to pay Drummond, and he's coming back, because you know what? And if he doesn't come back, look, we're just gonna have to go out and find a center. So we're still looking good. But look, all right, so Doc Rivers, all right, he's been rumors to be, the Lakers and stuff like that. So do you feel like your locker room is hearing this and the morale of the locker room is starting to change, or what?
No, I think it's more so of his play calling. But if Doc is hearing this, he needs to address it. He does. If he's going to get another chance, or he's going to be in a hot seat next year, because a lot of people are calling for him to be fired right now. Because, like I said, we don't have no time to be wasting. But if he goes to the Lakers, then that says a lot about where the Lakers are going, because they had an awful season, and now you're going to get a coach that's you've seen firsthand at playing in this. Coaching in this Staples Center, he cannot hold a lead, and he can't get his guys to close out games. This is what we've been dealing with. The players is going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but at the same time, your coach has to manage the game, and he doesn't do that. So it doesn't mess up the morale on the fact that they're hearing rumblings about him going elsewhere. It messes up the morale of he's not being who he predicted to be, the comparison to Popovich. That's what he said.
Okay. Look, he's not the right coach for the Sixers, man. I'm sorry. Doc Rivers is not the right coach. Outside looking in, y'all better off just go and get another coach. I just thought that, look, they brought in Doc Rivers because of his name. You can't tell me that this guy, besides the 1 year that he won the championship, with Boston, he blew more 3-1 series in NBA history than any other coach. Oh my God, let's bring him in to Philly, and he's the answer for Joel. He could teach him. No, he's not the answer in Philly. I'm sorry. His in-game adjustment is horrible.
Thank you.
It's worse than Jonathan Gannon.
That's saying something. That's saying something.
It's that bad. So I really feel like that after this year, he's gone. I don't think the Sixers is going to win the championship this year, just based on what I've been seeing. But who knows? If he won the championship this year, he might get a contract extension. But right now, a first-round exit, a second-round exit, if y'all don't get to the finals, that's not good enough. Y'all need to get to the finals. Y'all need to be playing in NBA finals in order for him to save his job.
Well, I would say his job probably be secure if we get to the Eastern Conference.
Didn't y'all do that last year?
No, it was the second round.
Went to
second round. Because it was the Bucks. It was the Bucks and the Hawks in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But I really you touched on a lot of stuff that I always preach on my channel. Doc Rivers is not the coach for us. I said, because they were throwing names like what was his name? Mike D'Antoni. I said I don't want him, because we need somebody like I would rather pay Nate McMillan, a coach like that, to get everybody on board on defense than get a Mike D'Antoni that's not going to even push defense. He's going to just be like, yo, offense. That's it. Like, I don't want a coach like that.
I think Mark Jackson would be the perfect coach for Philly, man.
I don't think he's ever going to come back. We've been trying to get him.
Yeah, he would be the perfect coach for Philly. Fans, Mark Jackson.
We've been crying for him for years. I don't think he's going to come back. I really don't.
Or Mike Brown.
Mike Brown would be good.
Might be, might do a better job than Doc, because right now, Doc just need a team
right now.
He had to coach. He doesn't have to coach. He need a team where, like the Lakers, I guess, with LeBron James, with a whole bunch of vets that kind of been there, done that, they knew what they're doing, and that's it. And just sit there and say, "Hey, time out," and that's it. Besides that, he's not doing any in-game adjustment, any coaching at all.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, he needs to go somewhere else, but not in Philly. I'll tell you that now, because they're going to chew him out.
So, hey, I didn't know that that Thybulle wasn't vaccinated. I did not know that until
it's news to me.
night.
It's news to me as well.
Yo, that is such a big blow for the Sixers, man.
It is
Like,
late. Like we needed something else this year. like we really needed something else. It does.
Like we were always talking about Kyrie Irving, and this and that. Yo, man. And y'all had one right under our nose that kind of slipped through the cracks.
No, we did, but at the same time, like it was hard to tell because even in those games that we played Toronto, I think he had COVID or he was injured. So it went under wraps a lot until now. Which is like I said, I really believe that we'll still be okay. It's just all going to come down. That series is going to come down to coaching, regardless of Thybulle play or not. It's going to come down to coaching, and not giving up second chance points and try to outwork them. And I'm not that convinced yet because of how we played at the end of the season. Now they can say that they were trying to, just try to get to the playoffs. They can say anything at this point, but we're not athletic. Transition defense is suspect, and we suck at giving up second chance points. And this is supposed to be the coaches doing to fix our weaknesses or try to strengthen them, and he's not doing that. It's like a repeated record. After every loss, we got to do better. We got to stay aggressive. From the players to the coach, they all saying the same exact thing, and that's just it's on leadership, coaching, Joel Embiid and James Harden, Tobias Harris, Danny Green, all the veteran voices. We got to do better and we got to tighten up because what we see now, that's not going to get us to where we want to go. So,
hey, Coach Dante was like, Doc Rivers is fired. I'm telling you, the next coach will be Mike D'Antoni for the 76ers. I'm telling you guys, James Harden, Daryl Morey, and Mike D'Antoni. If that does happen, man, I don't know. I don't know how far y'all go with Mike D'Antoni. Does he have the players to be able to play the type of basketball that he always known for playing, like the shooters around, the 7 seconds or less type of play? I mean, do we have that? I mean, do you really want to keep running Embiid up and down with 7 seconds without him getting tired before the 6-minute mark in the first quarter?
It's so crazy because I thought about it. I think that
Embiid is not a lob guy either, by the way, but go ahead.
He's not. But I think Mike D'Antoni is going to run Joel Embiid and James Harden like he did Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. He's going to run it like that, the pick and roll, whereas though that you got to pick your poison. I think he's going to run it like that.
All right, but look, I don't think that Steve Nash is a good coach. I agree with Philly the podcast. Sixers should take Nash off our hands. Hey, y'all can have Nash.
No, we can't.
No, he's not a good coach. No, he just have great players, that cover up his flaws. But Steve Nash to me cannot coach. Yes, this is his second year. I get it, but he have one of the greatest players in the world on his team. So but yeah, y'all could have old Steve Nash. Y'all can have Steve Nash, man. All right, we'll take somebody else. But all right, so the game is about like 15 minutes away. So what do you want to see today? Hey, the Pacers are depleted, like I said before. They are like playing with backups. So do you expect Embiid to play all 48 minutes or so, or what?
He shouldn't be playing all 48 minutes.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be shocked. But I see him playing at least 35.
Yeah, he's not even a coach. Yeah, look, I agree, man. Like, as Steve Nash, look, the only reason why he got this job was because Kyrie. I mean, it's mainly Kyrie was like, "Hey, man, we could do this ourselves, man. Hey, we got me and you here, bro. Hey, we good, man. We could just play our game. Man, we don't need nobody coaching us and telling what to do." And that's how Steve Nash got the job. Right. You know what I mean? But look, it is what it is, though, man. So let's talk about a little about the Nets real quick. All right. So we see the standings.
Okay.
And we see the standings. Look, the Nets right now, they are in the 7th seed right now.
Mm-hmm. It
All right.
means y'all play the Bucks.
Huh?
I said while y'all in the play-in.
Well, right now, tomorrow we play the Pacers. The same team y'all play today, we play them tomorrow. Okay. We win that game. We are, slide in 7th seed, but then we play the Cavs or the Hawks, whichever one works out. But we only got to win one game. But if we lose, we got to lose twice in most games. So the first round matchup, if this stands, Nets versus Bucks, KD and Giannis. Yo, that is, either way, one of those two big names will be out of the first round. So if the Sixers don't take advantage and beat whoever that they're facing, this is a big blow to this year, because they would not possibly have to face KD or Giannis.
Right.
So who are you rooting for the Nets to face in the first round? I'm just saying. I mean, look, the Nets play the Bucks. Are you rooting for the Nets or the Bucks?
Honestly.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But think about the easy road, I guess. If there is an easy road, because we went to Philly and blew the bricks out of y'all by 29 points.
We're not gonna go to that. We're not gonna go to that.
So,
I honestly, I would take my chances with Brooklyn only because when y'all have Kyrie and KD, who's great scorers and two of the greatest scorers game has ever seen, you lose defense there. So I would rather them being able to be off or being contested by our team than having to play the Bucks that has a center that can shoot threes. That hurt us every time. It hurt us. And then you got Giannis, because if he's out there stretching out Embiid, who's guarding the paint? It's that's what I'm saying. That will be the matchup that I would want to see more than the Bucks.
But earlier you told me that offense, because I was like, yo, are the Sixers are shooting too many threes? And you was like, hey, that's fine as long as they're making it. And then we got
I did not. No. What I said was that if they're making it, they're going to keep shooting threes, which is bad because you're showing your card. You're showing that, okay, we're hot, we're going to keep shooting threes. And then now, once we stop making them, then what? We have to mix it up. If we're missing, the problem is when we're missing, we're shooting ourselves out of the misses, and it's long rebounds that's leading to transition baskets, or we're just missing them to the point where we're in a drought for like 5 minutes, and that hurts us too. I think we are, to answer that question, we are shooting too many threes. We need to mix it up, even if we're making them like we were doing against the Pacers or we were doing last game. We have to mix it up with Embiid or taking mid-range jump shots, which I agree with you once again, because you did say this also about James Harden. He needs to work on the mid-range. If he works on that mid-range, it's always there. It's always there.
Yeah, y'all last 10 games also, and y'all are averaging, oh man, like 19, about 40. Let me see, 37 threes, 27, 35, 36, 41, 43. Y'all like shooting at least 35 threes a game.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
It is. For a team that's inconsistent, yes. It is. It is.
So do you see the last game, because your last game, y'all were 19 for 36 a three. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like if y'all weren't shooting so many threes last game, especially when y'all were up, y'all still continue shooting them threes, and then y'all started missing? Do you feel like that y'all probably would have won that game because they kind of walk y'all down slowly, or no?
No, it was that hurt us. I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt us for taking those threes, but it was also not being able to adjust on Gary Trent Jr. or Siakam when they were just going off. And then them being able to do whatever they wanted in the paint hurt us. It really did. And like I said, it comes down to coaching, and then it also comes down to player effort. And if we're not guarding them, I've seen James Harden set up there and got out the way so Barnes could sit up there and just do a layup. Like, it wasn't any effort. It was bad. It was bad. So that's why we lost the game. It was the adjustments and lack of defense down the stretch.
Okay. Hey, going back to the whole 7-8 matchup, unlike you, if we drop to the 8 seed, I'm okay with it because I rather face Miami, to me, in my opinion, than the Bucks in the first round. I mean, I believe that we could beat the Bucks, but it's got to take a lot because that team has been together for 3 years now. Like the same core. I mean, they know each other very, very well. The Miami team, I mean, it's still a work in process, with Kyle Lowry and stuff like that, with Jimmy Butler, with Tyler Hero is a hit or miss. So I would rather, yes, they are having a great season, a number 1 seed, but I think that Katie and Kyrie would give them, with Drummond, would give them a lot of problems compared to the Bucks. The Bucks got size. You know what I mean? With the Brook Lopez, with Giannis. I mean, the bench is coming off. I mean, and they got size. So I would rather face Miami, even though they are the number 1 seed, than the Bucks. So just my logic of thinking about it. So there's a chance that we might fall to the 8th seed still, because even if we win tomorrow, and then we got a playing game. Playing game. Wait. And right now what you mean? Right now we like basically tied right now. Like, hold on. Yeah. Let me see. We basically tied right now for the play game.
Y'all gonna beat these 2 teams, yo. I'm not. Where's that? Y'all gonna beat these 2 teams, and then y'all gonna stay in that 7th spot in the play-in. You're going to end up playing the Bucks.
All right, so here we go.
Even the Bucks are
we're tied with the Cavs, right? But the thing is, we don't have a lot of head-to-head wins. So all it takes is for us to lose against the Pacers tomorrow. All right, we beat the Pacers tomorrow, and the Cavs went out. We play the Cavs the first round. If we lose to the Cavs, we drop down. We play the Hawks or thing like that. We beat them. We're automatically on the 8th seed.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we win out. Because momentum is a mother effort. You know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. That's all I was saying, brother.
3-4 games in a row, especially now that Kyrie is starting to get his legs back under him now. So you never know. But the easy road, let's see. Let's go into the playoff. Let's get our momentum against, I feel like, which will be an easier opponent than the Bucks. And now you beat Miami, the number 1 seed. Ain't no team going to want to see you because they're the number 1 seed, but they're a soft number 1 seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are.
You play
they like how Utah was last year.
Yeah, like a soft number 1 seed. That like, are they really that good? Ain't nobody picked Miami to come out the East.
No,
they're picking the Bucks, the Sixers. Brooklyn body. If we. So they're not picking the Heat to come out the East.
No.
But we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, hey, we definitely going to do a post-game show after this. So if y'all watching, man, tune in for the post-game reaction, and hit up my guy on his own YouTube channel. Go sub him up, man. He's on the road to 100. So go sub him up, man. His link is right here in the chat. He's working hard, and try to put these contents out. He put reaction videos every time the Sixers finish playing. It'd be funny as hell. I'll be laughing because I told you so. I told you so. Okay, and y'all here to support each other, man. But, man, hey, before I let you go, man, any last words, man, you want to say? And you know what? Just give me your score prediction for this game right here between the Pacers and the Sixers.
118-110. I got the Sixers winning this game.
118-110. All right, man.
Because I know the
take on you. I'm about to drop a hot take on you.
yo,
You're about to lose to the Pacers. You're about to lose to the Pacers. It's gonna be like, man, y'all gonna be up by like 15, and then they're gonna walk y'all down. Lance Stevenson is gonna start like sticking his tongue out and going into people's ears. So I got the Pacers winning this game 120-116.
Okay. We coming back too. So
You are coming back.
But you can just follow me on Twitter and Instagram at King DV Sports. I'll be back with the post game with JC. Well, we got a minute left. Okay. So yeah, we gotta start watching so we can keep up these predictions for both of us.
Yes, sir. All right. Hey, as always, go Birds.